Today, I want to talk about perception. I want to break this down and explain to you the value that being perceptive has in your life. Because the word perception is one of those things that are invaluable for self healing, self growth, and self empowerment. It is the way you view the world, your definition of the things that are possible to you. It's your observation of what you think the relationships in your life are or what they are worth. And most importantly, it's a manifestation of who you think you are, what you think you're worth. Perception is the world through your eyes. And the really important thing about that is that it is your reality. And very often, what is real to you by that lens through which you see the world is not often obvious or real to all the other people around you. And most importantly, it is not always the reality about those situations. This is why we see love where love does not exist. You could have sworn that that person loves you very much by certain gestures or actions that you seemed to have perceived, but they really did not. And in the same way, you miss those ones who love you blind, who are staring you in the face, because this whole time you're staring at other things, you're interpreting other things. And the reason why perception is incredibly important and also really scary is because if it defines you and it translates your reality, and if we are now saying that that reality is not often as real as you perceive it, it means that a lot of us live our lives in that blind spot, that spot of blindness between our perception and our reality and the actual genuine reality of the world, which is presented by opportunities, by relationships, and by the way other people around you see those things that you just saw with your own lens. And so people see life through that lens of trauma, through that lens of gratitude, spirituality, everything that defines your values, your mindset, your beliefs, and all the experiences that you have been through. And that's how we build our own lenses of perception. Your early years, those attachments, how the relationships within your family defined your personality, your identity. Were they trusting, nurturing, loving, or were they neglectful and dismissive and therefore traumatic to you? That's how you're going to view other people. When somebody says, I love you, you're going to define that per your understanding and experience of love. When somebody drives 5 hours to come and see you or say something to you, your interpretation of that drive itself can be love or something else. They must love me to do this big thing for me. They must love me to have come that far, to be here for that long. But they could also be other explanations. They are very worried of you. They don't trust that you will do that thing that is valuable to them well. They were bored and they wanted to distract themselves. They want something from you and they either wanted to get it now or to impress you now so that they can get it later. There are a lot of other explanations why everything happens, but we see what we see because that's who we are and that's what that thing meant to us. So being able to explore and expand your perception about life and opportunities and your worth and relationships will really be that one secret ingredient that enables you to shift your mindset, to explore and expand your beliefs, and to really start to grow by letting go of that narrow-minded perception of who you think you are, what you think you're worth, and who others around you are, and what their actions represent to you in terms of the value that you can get from them. My name is Aso, and you are very warmly welcome to Clear Minds and Self-Healing. I use my own little knowledge and experience of the world to share on this channel with the purpose of hopefully creating a forum for reflection, awareness, and growth to empower you so that you can grow and empower those around you. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and join us here. We value your presence, we value your contribution, and please share and join this community and let's grow together. The most common illustration of perception has been the glass half full or the glass half empty kind of people. Half empty means that you minimize everything. Your perception always falls short of what is desired, what is needed, what is worthy, starting from your innate ability to see yourself as good enough, to see yourself as strong enough, to see the opportunities that you're offered as good enough, to see the support that was offered as good enough. When your glass is half empty, nothing is good enough because you see life through that fractured lens, which starts from your innate ability to suffice in those situations. When you're low within yourself and when you feel limited and unable, nothing that is offered is going to be good enough because of that reality that is presented by that perception that you have. The person whose glass is half full means that they appreciate, they feel capable, they feel worthy, they see value in themselves because that glass is half full. It's already full and overflowing to a certain extent. And therefore, they appreciate everything else that comes because they already appreciated themselves. They saw value in themselves, which can reach for any task, for any relationship, and everything else that comes their way. The other example that I want to use to really break down what perception means to you is corn or maize. And this is something that I experienced in my community growing up. This is one of the most stable crops in that community, on top of cocoyams and everything else. But the value of corn comes from the fact that they realized that just cooking and eating it was not good enough. How can we multiply our potential when crop is difficult? When these are the few things that grow well. So they grow it in the rainy season and they grow it by the riversides in the dry season to make sure that it's available all year round. They cook it, they use it for pudding, they roast it by the roadsides, and they use it for drinks. It's fermented and used for corn beer, which is now industrials. It's used for fufu. It's used for corn chaff. They use it to dry it and preserve it so that it's available in the difficult seasons where food is difficult. And you see how these people, in their own wisdom, have expanded the possibility of how they can expand their meals, how they can make money, how they can eat, feed the animals, sell in the markets, be okay in the rainy season and in the dry seasons and all year round with this one crop, which otherwise would have been limiting had you seen it from just that one perspective of what it presented. I love the topic of perception because what it proves is that all the answers are always sitting there around us in plain sight. And it is a view of life and the opportunities that are presented to us that is flawed. But if we are able to reflect in the manner that we are doing today and expand the lens through which we view life, we will alter it. We will expand that lens. We will clean it up and enhance it. And that will, in effect, enhance our opportunities and abilities in life. Psychologists have a thing that they call the fidelity, listening fidelity. And what this means is that something is lost in translation between what I say and what you understand, unless you listen it with that level of fidelity that ensures that you have captured the actual reality that sits between me and you and that thing that we are talking about. So I say something and it means one thing, and you hear it in your own way because that's what I must have said. And this is where Chinese whispers comes around, because what I say and what you understood and what you repeat is different things. And that's why perception is very important for me and for you and for all of us. As an individual, your ability to expand that scope, to grow your maze in multiple ways, to use it for your industrial value, to see your value as higher than the level that it currently sits, to see the purpose of those cars that you have sustained over life. And that's how perception starts to give value in your life. When you elevate everything in your life, irrespective of those views and those things that previously made you feel limited, made you feel enough. Even if you're doing extremely well now, there is always a next step. And that's why perception, being able to understand and expand it, is the one thing that can elevate you to healthy emotional resilience, to mindset shift, to changing those beliefs that once held you back, made you stuck, made you dismissed and minimized. Because only you can expand, can beautify, can gratify that reality that is currently either hateful or painful or too dusty for you to appreciate. Now, what is your maze? How full is your glass? And what lens, or shall I say multiple lenses, are you going to start to see life, to see you, to see opportunities, to see the people around you with? Because everything else always has another angle. And until you start to see those angles, you will be stuck in one place. But there's such a beautiful, massive world out there for us to explore. There's such beautiful, amazing people out there for us to relate with appropriately, healthily. And there's such value within you for you to tap into, to explore and exploit and expand, so that you can start to see you as beautiful and amazing and share you with that new inherited value that hopefully has been enhanced by you watching this video. Please share this and encourage and motivate other people to clean up their lenses and expand them, so that we can all start to see the world as a bit more beautiful and valuable than where we are sitting at the moment.